To allow one man to accuse you in secret, you never get notified you've been accused. Your notification is the buzz of the propellers on the drone as it flies overhead in the seconds before you're killed. Is that what we really want from our government?
Rand Paul, who took to the Senate floor for a 13-hour filibuster to protest the possibility the president might order a drone strike against an American citizen on U.S. soil. And we're back now with the panel. So, Laura, what do you see as the significance of Rand Paul's criticism of the Obama drone policy? And what about the split that we saw this week inside the GOP between the libertarians, who were primarily concerned with individual rights and the Constitution, and defense hawks like John McCain, who say a president in a war, commander-in-chief, needs broad authority to use force?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, John McCain, Lindsey Graham, and the Wall Street Journal editorial board extremely dismissive of Rand Paul. Wall Street Journal said, calm down, said, you don't have to do more than fire up impressionable libertarians in their college dorms. I thought to myself, when is the last time a Republican managed to capture the imagination of young people, some people on the left, Mitch McConnell, John Thune, John Cornyn, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio? I mean, there was a wide range of Republicans and people on the left who said, you know something, I think the Attorney General should be able to answer a simple question with an unequivocal yes or no. He couldn't do that. And Rand Paul served an enormously important function during that filibuster. He wasn't waving his hands and ranting and raving, contrary to what the Journal condescendingly said. He actually said, look, we have three branches of government. It's our solemn duty to put a check on what the executive decides to do. They want to slap the label enemy combatant on an individual, and that gives the president unilateral and secret authority to order an assassination by drone or by any other strike. That is something that's quite shocking to a lot of people. And I think Rand Paul not only sent a message to the country, but solidified himself in a 2016 run for the presidency that will shake up this party as it deserves to be shaken up.
You know, Juan, Senator Paul's filibuster, and as we've said, it was very controversial both among Republicans and among Democrats. It does raise a larger question, though. 12 years into the war on terror, with al-Qaeda Central diminished and all of these affiliates spreading across northern Africa especially, do we need new rules of the road about when the president can use drones or other projections of U.S. power?
Absolutely, and I think everybody agrees that right now there's a lack of transparency, and what you need is judicial review, congressional review potentially of this kill list. Exactly who's on this kill list. You don't want a president exercising this authority in a vacuum, as Laura called it, unilaterally. So you do want that. But let me just say that in response to Senator Paul, I thought it was grandstanding. It was an internet sensation. But the fact is, no U.S. citizen has ever been targeted or killed by a drone on U.S. soil. And secondly, the Constitution gives the president authority to go after a U.S. citizen if that U.S. citizen is somehow involved in colluding with an enemy of the United States. I mean, go back to the Civil War. Of course you have that right. So this was a speculative effort that I think that
I just want to say I love the fact that we have the hawk,
that's right,
Juan Williams, and the dove, Laura Ingraham.
Yeah. Not the dove, the constitutionalist.
Okay.
I know something.
Let me pick up here with Julie. How did the White House feel about Rand Paul's filibuster?
I don't think that they took it incredibly seriously at the beginning. I think that they felt like he already had the answers to the questions that he was asking. But I actually feel like what he did was he got the Attorney General to actually provide an answer that was more specific than what Eric Holder had been saying the day before in his testimony on the Hill. You know, as we go through this process of trying to figure out what exactly the drone policy is and some of the details start to come out, a lot of times the answers we get actually just raise more questions. And I think it was important both for the White House and for the public in general to get that answer to Rand Paul's final question, which was not just would the president use a weaponized drone against an American on American soil, but does he actually have the authority to do so? And the answer that was provided was no. He does not have that authority.
I don't think that's what he said. He said if he's not in combat.
If he's not in combat, right. Which, again, all these answers do raise more questions, but I think that that was an important step for the administration to take.
All right, I want to know, do you want to defend your paper for dismissing?
I mean, I think it's really important. Republicans, conservatives, libertarians need to not get swept up in a lot of what was happening here this week.